Well, good morning, everyone. Here it is, Sunday morning, out at the ranch. Thanks for watching. It's probably around 80 degrees this morning. So we're going to be pulling these corn out this morning. I'll show you why. Close the gate over so that pup don't get out. All right, so what happened with this corn is the water wasn't getting enough water, and so this is pretty much what we ended up with. So the tassels came out too early, and when the tassels come out too early before your stalks begin, before your ears begin to form, what happens is they don't get pollinated. And then this is an example of that, the pollination. We didn't get the pollination that we needed. So just about every one of these is going to be that way. So we're not going to spend a lot of time. This one didn't get pollinated at all. Look at that. So when it comes to corn, pollination is a big thing. And when these things, and I already knew that they probably weren't going to produce. I just kind of crossed my fingers and hoped they would. But we knew that they weren't going to produce. Should have pulled them out, but I didn't. So we are actually going to just be pulling these out and throwing them in the little cart right there this morning, so that we can get something else planted here for our fall crop. Normally we'll probably going to plant onions here, because it's time for onions. It's time to get onion seeds in. And that's probably what we're going to plant in these two beds, is onions. We'll keep trying onions until we figure it out, until we figure out we can't grow onions here. So when we see that we can't grow, well, there's certain things that you can grow and certain things you can't grow in this climate. We have more of a Mediterranean climate here. Our climate is different than my neighbors just down there by the pond. They have colder, the cold air. They have a colder type of climate when wintertime comes. So it's hard for them to grow things like citrus and things like that. We don't have a problem growing citrus as long as the weather cooperates with us. 2 years ago, winter before last, we had 5 snowfalls. Excuse me, right here at this location right here. So we didn't have no citrus last year. This year we have citrus. We even had pluots, which we didn't have before. So the pluots are kind of that way. I mean, those pluots, they're like dragon eggs. You find them in the stores. So might as well get started. It's a little bit past time. I think it's about 7:30 in the morning here. And I'm going to set my coffee over here. And probably not going to bother with any more, check any more of these. You don't want to come out of the ground. Leave behind my soil. So, and then we're going to dump these somewhere away from the house, far enough that we don't have to worry about fire danger. And we are going to remove these. These are going to be our new hoses. They're going to move these soakers and pitch them in the garbage. They don't, they're plugged up. So I had a lady tell me before that she didn't use those kind of hoses anymore because they get plugged up. So let me turn this up a little bit. There we go. So I'm not real thrilled with this tripod. Anyway, so yeah, so we won't be checking anymore. We know that they're not any good. So time to start preparing for our fall crops. We got to plant our cabbages. We got a whole slew of fall crops we need to plant, and we don't have room. So we have a bed prepared up there to plant potatoes. So we're gonna try to get a fall crop of potatoes. Today's the 3rd or the 4th of August, and we're not in any big. Got a good root system. Too bad they didn't turn out, huh? Anyways, so some of these don't want to come out. We're going to have to do that root system. We did good. So as far as the roots go, they had good roots. Ground is moist, so we tried to save them. The system, they were connected in with this watering system over here at my watermelons and my cantaloupes, and the sucker hoses were plugged up, and I didn't know it until it was too late. The tassels come out too soon, and that might have been one cause that caused it. I do not know. I know I have a crop back up on top up there, a crop of corn, and it looks like they all got pollinated well. I was up there yesterday evening and pulled some out and seen what we had. Let me see if I can fix this. Okay, maybe not. All right. Be off camera right here for a little bit. Let's get these out of here. Oh my gosh. Really go around them sucker hoses. So a lot of it is just trial and error, trying to get, trying to find something that you can grow in this climate. And it's different. It's different everywhere. There's microclimates all over Shasta County. It is quite frustrating. We'll test a couple more of these ears here to see. So now we know, right? Now we know corn is, you can grow it, but everything has to be just right. You don't want your tassels coming out too soon because you lose your pollination. Anyways, So I'm going to take the string off of this one. I got a string to hold them up, and then I'm going to start pulling those out too. So got to set my coffee over here. String aside here. Yeah, the end of it's here somewhere. I'm falling over. Now, I don't care if they fall off. Yeah, this corn right here is no bueno. See there? No bueno. Oh, man, I'm gonna have to get something to dry them out. Oh, get it. All right. Goodness gracious. Maybe we can. I might find a different way to pull those out. I think I'm gonna get something to hack those down first. I think this will work. So I'm going to leave about 2 feet sticking up, give me a little bit of leverage. You stay in there, Mr. Pete. I don't want you running off on me. You love to do that. All right. I'll check another one for you. So here it is right here. Yeah, that's not even worth fooling with, really, except for maybe to taste it. Yeah, good. Tender. Well, part of it we got there. Anyway. Yeah, it's all about learning when you're gardening. We keep hoping we'll find one. Good, huh? I don't want to have to tear every one of these apart to see if it's any good, though. Takes a lot of strength to break those off. I mean, if I was hurting for corn, and we went around, and I do believe we went and got a tassel from up on the hill up there where we have a good crop. And they're a couple weeks behind these guys, so succession gardening is what we like to try to do. Good taste. Oh, look at there. We have a good one. That's nice. We'll hang on to that little guy. All right, I guess I better get me a bucket to put these in. Can't find a bucket. I'll just lay them right here for now. So it looks like to me that what we got going here is that these guys towards the middle there, towards the center, yeah, see, no pollination. No pollination. No bueno. See if I can figure out maybe the ones in the center here. Maybe they're gonna produce. I ain't gonna waste my time on too many of these. No bueno. See? Well, we got one here so far. Here we got aphids. The aphids. The aphids. I didn't spray these corn, but look at the aphids. See them? They have aphids. And it's okay because if another good reason to take them out is because look at that. Them aphids are all over the silks. All right, so it looks like to me that we have so we're doing better. You know, that's a little bit better. They're due to be harvested. But that's what happens when you're tassels, you know. So they were starved for water, and I don't know if, I'm pretty sure I could probably do some more research and find out whether they whether having lack of water caused the tassels to come out early. Even in the commercial business, I watched some of those videos, and those guys have problems with the tassels coming out early, right? So we'll hang on to that one. We'll eat this one. I really need to, I'll just bring that chair over here. found the bag. So I'm gonna go ahead and strip these off. So I'm gonna go ahead and plant onions. Actually, the seeds were supposed to go in a week ago, 2 weeks ago, mid-July, I think. Yeah, that chart I got but it's okay. I have mid-July all the way through August to plant my onion seeds. I really don't expect anything out of this one. All right, let's see what we got here. No bueno. It's not too soon. Yeah, we got it's up the wazoo. If that's even a word. I think it's a word. Let's take a look here. Look at those aphids. Yeah, that's another good reason to pull these out, because the aphids have destroyed them. Oh, we want to get rid of the aphids here, too. Oh, might have a good one. So we got them. We planted them in a block, right? And that should have been good enough for the pollination. It's not what was wrong with these. What was wrong with these was tassels coming out too soon, right? Oh, snapped her right off. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother with this one. No bueno. You go to all that work. Onions are the same way. You're never guaranteed you're going to get a crop of onions. Right? Never guaranteed of anything, really. I can tell you right now, that one's no good. All right, this one might be good. Yeah, everybody's got aphids. Yeah. Well, we'll hang on to it. It's not like it doesn't have anything on it, right? We'll try it. No bueno. Pollination is the key with corn. I knew that we were going to have trouble. I probably should have pulled them out right then when I seen the tassels. Like, next time I grow it, I learned me a lesson here. Yeah, that's no bueno. No bueno. No good. Some guys would probably just chop them down. Yeah, see. Every one of these silks goes to a kernel, right? Every one of these silks goes to a kernel. And if it doesn't get pollinated, guess what? You're not going to get any corn. And can you imagine those Pueblo Indians down there in the Southwest trying to grow corn in that kind of environment? And then you go and you look and you see all these cities that they built that were totally abandoned. And for some reason, they just kind of left everything behind. Well, I'm pretty sure the problem was not enough rain. I think the climate shifted and they weren't getting enough rain. So it was probably a wetter climate down there at one time, you know? Try this one. No bueno. It's a waste of time to even look. Why do I bother? I love the garden. There's no mistakes in gardening. Only learning. I can tell you right now, those are so small. I come out and I was looking at this last night, right? And I thought, man, I should have cut those down and probably ought to plan for in the morning. I really don't like working out here in the heat. I'm already sweating. I was born and raised in Redding, and look at that. No, I would like to say muy bueno, but I can't. Okay, there we are. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna have to get a shovel and to dig these out, you know, because they're so, the root system. One thing about it, I can say he's got a good root system anyways. Yeah, I'm noticing. Well, No bueno. Somewhat, though. I'll hang on to it. We'll eat it tonight for dinner. So there we go. It's nice. It's nice. I like gardening, even if it's a huge failure. Yeah. Nah. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. Oh, look at here. It's almost full. One thing I noticed too, we don't have any worms. You can simply treat them with vinegar though, you know. All right. Not a lot there. That's why those Pueblo Indians would celebrate when they got a good harvest. They knew they were going to be fed, and they would have a celebration. You know, one thing about these North American Indians, they did their best to survive under the circumstances. I got to talk to some of those young Pueblo guys. They're little guys. Of course, I'm not a small guy. Yeah, see, no bueno. I wouldn't even imagine. I mean, just think if you went out and you were a Pueblo Indian and you went out to harvest your corn and this is what you ended up with. Wouldn't that suck? That would be horrible. No bueno. See, I won't even bother with this one. This one that's got the dried silk indicates that they're done. It turns brown like that. Yeah. No bueno. Well, the corn crop on this bed was a big bust, so I'm not sure what I want to do with these. Anyways, all right, so that's the end of the harvest. We're going to prepare these beds now, and I'll come back and make a video on how to prepare these beds. We'll pull all the hoses out of there, and then we'll take a board and we'll strike it off so it's smooth all the way. And then we'll put our onion seeds in here. We have a bunch of seeds that we harvested from our red and yellow onions. And we'll put these seeds in here to get them going, and hopefully we'll get some onions by the time February rolls around. Maybe even March. Hopefully we'll try to get it figured out when to plant these onions. I know the starts was not a good thing to do, so we won't be doing that because we had those 2 weeks of warm weather in February, and it really shot us down as far as onions go. We did plant those in, I think it was November, December, something like that. But then we got 2 weeks in February, which is normal for this area, right? So we have to just try to outfox the weather to get our crops in. And onions is one of our staples. We cook with it. I mean, almost everything we cook with onions. And it's just, onions just give your food such a wonderful flavor. We had a successful garlic harvest, Sweat in my eyes. We had a very successful garlic harvest. We had garlic here and in that bed right there, and these garlic were having trouble. So now I know why. So we're gonna make our own soaker hoses, and we're gonna spray a drill a 3/16 hole in the bottom of them, and then and then when we put them back, turn them on, they're gonna hit that, instead of weeping and then getting plugged up, because we can take the ends off of these and flush them. You can do the same thing with the soaker hoses, but we'll probably roll those up and put them away somewhere, and then maybe we'll see if we can get them to work instead of throwing them away and doing that. Close that gate for that pup, don't get out. Anyway, so that's what our plan is. Right now I just gotta do the hard work and get these guys out of there. So I'm gonna get me a spade and see if I can get those out of there without a lot of fanfare. I do need to get them out. A lot of people call it practicing lazy gardening. And I tried that for a while. I need to have this soil turned over right here. I want it tilled. So I'll get in there with a sharp point shovel and a spade, and then I'll turn it all over, and then I'll put a bag of steer manure on there to revitalize it, and then we'll plant those onions. We'll sprinkle them right on the top because they're so small, and then we'll wet it down, and then we'll probably place plywood on there or something, maybe even some cardboard, and just set some boards on it to hold it down, and then keep the beds damp. We don't want to flood them, you just want to keep them damp. I've made the mistake of flooding my seeds and then having problems with them getting spread out, and seeds will float or they'll clump together, and that's not what we want. So it's all about details in gardening. So there's no mistakes in gardening, only learning. And we learned here, but we have, and with this, anticipating that this might fail, we did plant another crop up on the top garden up there, and those look like they're doing way better than these guys right here. And that was in a cylindrical, an old culvert that we cut down 2 feet. So we got this old culvert from a job we did many years ago, and then I cut them in 2-foot lengths, and then set them and put rock in the bottom, and then put a foot of compost on top. And we won't be doing that anymore. What we'll be doing is like we did on these here. We learn as you go. You know, we were filling these up with our compost, and we were just eating up compost, and it was too expensive. So even though we hauled it, we were paying $30 a yard out at Abernathy from the city of Reading, and all their green waste goes out there, and they turn it into compost. So anyway, so we put dunnage, what we call dunnage, you know, and I got that log deck up there. We go up and cut a bunch of those rounds off, and then they're rotten, of course. And you want to turn those up when you cut them. Turn them up if you're not going to use that wood for anything else. Turn them up so that the cut side is up. You want to have it on the flat side that you cut. Turn it up so that the water gets down in there, and then it'll help in the rot and decomposition of that. And then you bring those up, and usually they break apart real easy when they're rotten like that. So you take them and you can put them in there like this one. You know, I filled it up to right here with dunnage, right? And then I filled the rest of it up with compost. And I filled it up right to the top. And it has already settled. It looks like a good 4 to 6 inches. So we're gonna haul this away. We're gonna get these beds prepped. We're gonna plant our onions. And when I get ready to do that, I'll come back and show you. Thanks for watching.